Hello, welcome. I'm going to be talking about Sea Battle for the Intellivision. Now this isn't really a Let's Play video as it is a two-player only game. I'm just going to demonstrate how it works and why I think it's the first real-time strategy game. Now at the very least, it has to be the first console RTS, I would think. There are a lot of old computer games, and I certainly haven't played many of them, anywhere near all of them. So there could be something similar, but interesting thing is, Intellivision Entertainment was recently announced, a new company bringing the system back, and in its first press release, it lists like a lot of significant milestones of the Intellivision, and it does say the console had the first real-time strategy game, but they don't say Sea Battle, they say Utopia, which came out in 1982. So Sea Battle released in 1980, at least a year and a half earlier. So Utopia, I mean, it's real time, it's placing buildings, it's fishing, but I think that's more of a simulation than a strategy game. So let me start the game up here. You're gonna have to listen to that noise. That goes on non-stop. So on this map, this is the map you always get. There's no random generating maps or anything. It's always this screen. This is really the only screen in the game until you zoom in for battles. So in the lower left-hand corner is player 1's harbor, and that's gray. The upper right is the yellow island that has player 2's harbor. And the objective is to get an aircraft carrier or a troop transport into the opponent's harbor to win the game. So each player has a limited number of ships, and you can create fleets of 1 to 3 ships. So let me create a fleet here. Now you'll see 3 black icons flashing. That's my fleet. You can create multiple fleets, but it's tricky to keep switching between them. But what you might want to do is place them in defensive positions to keep the opposition from getting a straight shot to the harbor. So I could just place that fleet there and then create a new one. Now the colors help you differentiate what's in your fleet if you can remember. And player 1 ships will always point to the right, whereas player 2 will point to the left. So I'm going to do is get this close to the opposition, then I'll switch controllers and get another fleet here to fight. So it's all happening in real time. Players can just keep creating ships, fleets, and moving around the map. And battles are in real time, which is what makes the game quite challenging. You might hear a little banging sometimes as I'm picking up and putting down controllers. Not sure if, well, now I dropped a controller, so probably heard that bang a bit. So let me create a fleet for this other player. Now I put a mine layer in this fleet. I didn't put a mine layer or sweeper in any of the others. And what that is, the mine layer, as you're moving the fleet, you can place not landmines, but just mines. And they're invisible on the map, so the other player can't see them. But if they have a mine sweeper, they'll be okay. But if not, they'll take damage. So it's gonna make some noise soon. Alright, when this happens, gotta press an engage button, and that will launch the battles. Like I said, real time, all these ships are in play at all times. Regardless of who's being moved, you can shoot at any of the ships. And that's where it really is challenging, is that you can't, I mean, you can, I guess, make an agreement with the second player to only fight with, like, the ships you're moving. So, like I say, I'm going to move my battleship, and the other player can move their destroyer, and we'll just battle it out. But you'd have to be, to make that agreement, I don't know, and the other player would have to stick to it. But otherwise, they could be, you could just go seek the ships they're not controlling. So if I take player 2's destroyer and move him, so that could be the ship he's moving, but while he's moving over there, I can just start shooting the ships here that aren't being moved. And so, like I said, it won't be comparable to modern RTSs, mostly because there is no artificial intelligence. You have to control every unit. That's what really makes it hard. And the other thing is here you can crash it into land. So I'm going to do that now. So if I were to move him and then switch to another ship, he'll keep going. Well, he might slow down, but I'm going to switch back and just run him into the land. And the land will sink them. So you got to be careful when you're moving, and you got to try to swap between all your boats to keep them alive, to keep the other player from shooting them. It's a lot of work, but it's all real time. You know. So you get different type of shots. So like the sub and the PT boat, they're shooting torpedoes, which are powerful, but they have less armor. The PT boat sinks really easily. The battleship, you can overshoot. Like if I move that cursor way down there, it'll go over the sub. You gotta really be on point. So if the other player is moving, you just gotta aim on a moving target. Now, obviously, stop because I'm not controlling everything at once. It's pretty tricky. Another thing you can do is retreat. Hold on, I'm trying to create. I'm not sure why I'm having a hard time creating. No, there you go. I'm just gonna show you retreat because I forgot to. I'm gonna take this troop transport, engage in battle. Alright, so now he's gonna retreat. That was the retreat signal, but you gotta still stay alive for a bit. Of course, once you get back to the map, the other player can still try to engage you, so. I'm gonna just ignore it, keep going. I'm gonna try to run into the landmines. Should be landmines. Yep. Or not landmines, I keep calling them that, but just mines. Well, you know, the sea mines. I don't have the proper ship here to capture, though. There's another mine. Knocked out one of my ships. Alright, so I'm going to create another fleet and take this one in for the win. It's my aircraft carrier. So I'm playing the Sears release. There's really no difference except for the packaging. And I usually put scans at the end of these videos, so you'll see the Sears packaging for this video. You also see the overlay, which is really detailed because it's got pictures of all the ships, so that, well, you need that when you're in battle to know which ship you want. Like if you want the battleship, it looks identical on the keypad as it does in battle, so you know what ships you have in your fleet. This is the only version of Sea Battle that released in 1980, but they did make versions for the Atari 2600 and Mattel Aquarius. You can get the Atari version now, but... So I got the aircraft carrier in there, and it changed color to My Harbor. I was saying, they did sell the Atari version later in 2000 at the Classic Gaming Expo, so it does exist, but they just never released them after they completed them way back in the early 80s. I don't know how hard that would be to play on a regular Atari joystick with one button, because you really, for this, you need so many keys, because you have an aircraft carrier, a troop transport, a battleship, a sub, destroyer, PT boat, mine layer, and minesweeper. So each have buttons on the keypad, numerical buttons that you press. So that's 8 different types of ships. It would be hard to swap, I think, between all of them with just a regular joystick. So, to me, this is a real-time strategy released in 1980. It's a really cool game. You just need a second player because there's no artificial intelligence. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching.